explain some of the material setup for the laser. This should be the first item you go through and really refine your material database for the laser, as it's going to be the basis for all of your machines and for everything you want to do in Metacam. So I'm going to bring in a DXF file here, something pretty simple. And from here I go to laser tooling. And you see there's the 3000 by 1500 millimeter table. Here's my basic part. Now, of all the materials I can choose, I can see that in the new part window. Here's our machine, and here are 3 of the materials that I put in place. Note, when you pick a material, it wants you to choose a thickness. Then when I auto tool it, based on that thickness, it will give me a lead-in. In this particular case, my lead-ins are tied in to be directly related to the thickness of the material. Okay, so the way I accomplished all this, and once again I'm going to output code, which hopefully is pretty simple. The feed rates are at 0, and I've tried to remove some of the other items that you said you didn't want as headers. So how did we accomplish all this? The way it's done is through the laser database. The laser database is always found within a part here, the cut conditions database. And let me just resize this a bit so you can see everything. So right now I've made a list of some common, some aluminum 5052, some hot roll, and some stainless. The feed rates come out currently as 0 because I have feed rates as 0, and in the lead-in for the pierce, those are also as 0. If at any time you want to actually change this to actually say something, all you have to do is just change the feed rate in here to a numerical value, and that F value in your code will change to that number. Okay. Right now, this obviously isn't every material you sent me. I just wanted to give a good base of materials in place. Notice all of the thicknesses. There's not a whole, they kind of all look exactly the same. There's nothing different. The only thing that changes from material to material is this inner approach number and outer approach number. I only do it for the cutting line, not for etching, because you don't need a lead-in for etching condition. But notice this changes. And why does it change? That's not 14 millimeter, that's not 14 centimeters. It's the number 14, which references this approach settings chart. So 14 is at 1.5. That's why the 1.5 says use table number 14, which says my lead-in should be the same as my thickness. That's all I've done. I've just put some common thicknesses in here so that the lead-ins are the same as the thickness of material. If you have circles or cutouts that are smaller than the thickness of the material, don't worry, the software won't accidentally overcut a hole. It'll always move the pierce right to the middle of the contour that you're cutting if it's smaller than that number. So if we want to make a copy of this to use it on, let's say, another material, well, I have all your materials listed in here, at least all the ones that you sent me in that Excel spreadsheet. Just click on here and edit it and make it look however you want. But let's say I wanted to copy 6 millimeter, copy this page, and I want to move it to the cold roll. So I'll just find the sheet cold roll option, hit OK. It now makes my material for cold roll. It's a 6 millimeter, and since I copied it from an existing page, it already has the lead-in values for that material. Okay. So using the copy page feature will allow you to copy an existing page into a new material name, and keep doing that and you'll eventually load up all your different materials in here. Like I said, this is probably where you want to spend the beginning of your time setting up materials, because this is the basis for everything we're going to be doing. As long as you have a material in here, all the other material databases I show you for 3D and everything else for unfolding, they'll mate to this. So this is where we want to spend our time first. If you have any further questions, please let me know. Hopefully this video helps out.